Welcome to the office. It's 91.3 Lagos Talks. My name is Michelle Ago. Now, in the office, as you know, we discuss trends and basically showcasing ways that you can move your career forward. And we do this in partnership with CIPM, that is the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management. It is proudly the show office. The office is proudly brought to you by CIPM and Lagos Talks 91.3 FM. So today, before we introduce our guests or get into our topic, I'll tell you a little bit about our guest today. Our guest obtained a Bachelor of Education's honors degree in guidance and counseling from Premier University of Ibadan. Yes. Now, he also holds a master's degree in personal psychology from the same institution in 2007, and his PhD program in public policy and administration at Walden University, United States of America, which is currently ongoing. Now, he commenced his civil service career in 1994 as an administrative officer too in the Ministry of Education, and it spans various ministries, departments, and agencies with records of remarkable achievements. It is worthy to note that while he was at Public Service Training Institute, he raised the bar of performance of the Training Institute to become the senator for other training institutes in Southwest. Also, under his leadership, the Transport Agency recorded an unprecedented increase in its revenue targets. My guest today has been widely recognized as a dedicated and forthright officer who demonstrates proven managerial and administrative competence. He's a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management and past chairman of Ondo State Branch. He is also a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Public Administration of Nigeria and member of Nigerian Institute of Management and Nigerian Council for Management Development, among others. My guest today is the head of service from Ondo State, Mr. Kayode Ogundele. Welcome to the office. Good evening.
Good evening. It's a privilege to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. How is Ondo State today?
We are doing fine. The sun is shining in Ondo State.
Okay.
As the sunshine state.
Oh, I see. Well. Okay, that's good.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. My guest is the head of service of Ondo State. That's a very interesting responsibility. And today we'll be talking about maximizing the benefits of professional certifications in the public service. We understand that CIPM extended its expertise and credibility to the public sector recently. That's something CIPM has been focused on for a while, and it's good to see that they've actually made their mark in the public sector. And I think this is a timely conversation to have, given the new heights recorded by CIPM. So for the sake of clarity for this particular conversation, what are professional certificates? And how relevant are they in the public service?
Yeah, professional certification simply we can describe it as skills, learning, training acquired by a person to assist such an individual to perform his or her task or job creditably well. Is to actually make the individual, either a public servant or in the private sector, when you acquire professional certification, is to help you understand fully and deeply what the career or the profession you have decided to take up, what it entails, and how you can acquit yourself well in discharging your duties as a professional. So we have different certification for different professions. We have, for engineers, they have professional certification for maybe if you're an electrical engineer, though there are certifications that like combines all of them. We have institutions like Kuren that gives professional certification to certify an engineer as somebody who can practice as an engineer.
Okay.
A doctor, a medical practitioner would also need to be certified by the council or medicine or medical and the dental council before he can practice as a medical doctor. We have different professional bodies that are statutorily empowered to train and then to certify those who are to practice in such profession. So for anyone in the public service, we also require that for each of those professional cadres, people who are going to rise beyond the middle management to the top management level will definitely have to be professionally certified before they can move on.
Right, thank you. Speaking about moving on, let's move on to our next question. So, how can one utilize all the benefits to enhance their career?
Yeah, like I've said, professional certification is something that you would need, particularly for those who want to take their career, follow their career to the top. So if you are interested in taking your career far, particularly in the public service, you would need to be certified by the appropriate professional body in charge of that cadre where you belong to. So the first benefit is that, one, you'll be able to rise to the peak of that career, to the peak of that cadre as a professional. As an engineer, an accountant, or an HR person, you would need certification by the appropriate professional body for you to be able to rise. So that is one. Two, it also affords such people the opportunity of upskilling. It's a way of personal development. It's a way of broadening their knowledge, sharpening their focus, enhancing their horizon. So all these are the things that someone stands to gain by ensuring that he or she, apart from the university qualification that he or she obtains, there would also be the need for such people to be grounded professionally in that area of his or her cadre. And so I see it as, one, career progression, two, opportunity to enhance your skills, and another opportunity to also be able to rub minds with people in that same profession. And in doing that, particularly in a global world like this, you are able to leverage on the knowledge, the skills of others in order to be able to achieve optimally while you are performing your own duty.
Right, that's good. The skills are very important. Beyond the certification, having the skills is very, very important. I mean, that's the only way that you can be relevant in your field, by having the right skills to keep pushing forward, to be a better professional. And of course, the certification is very important to prove that indeed you've acquired these skills. So I can understand the description there. All right, so let's bring it to the civil service. Bringing it into the public sector generally, what is the acceptance level of professional certification in the civil service?
Gone are the days when, you see, in the public service, people come in as generalists. You see, somebody who is an engineer can function probably in the accountant cadre, and somebody who did history, let's say humanities, going into functioning in some specific professional cadres. But you see, what has happened in recent times is that, you see, the civil service has actually seen the need for professionalization. That is, each cadre must have its own professional requirements. Each cadre must have, what we refer to as a career goal. That means when you are coming into that cadre, there is a career plan for you.
Okay.
There is a focus, something you are looking up to. And in doing that, you will need to, from time to time, continue to upskill. You need to upgrade yourself. You need to learn some new things. So these are actually the reasons why professional certification becomes very important. So we have discovered that in the public service, it's no more a service where anything goes. It's a service now where we believe it is always very important for people to focus. And that is the essence of professionalization. If you want to take up career in HR, focus and develop your skills in that area. You want to follow a career path in the accounting cadre, accountancy cadre, that's the ones we refer to as Department of Finance and Accounts. You have to focus, and the entry level provides, through the scheme of service, some requirements. Once you are able to meet the requirements for the entry level, then as you grow in the cadre, you are expected to continue to upskill, upgrade, add to your knowledge. So all these are the things that makes the issue of professionalization important. And indeed, you see, without professionalizing, you see, it will be very difficult for the public service to be able to help government, particularly the political class, to be able to actualize their goal of delivering dividends of democracy, or what we refer to as good governance. People must actually know what they are to do. They must be what they are sought. They must be professionally qualified to carry out the duties they are to carry out, so that while you are functioning effectively in your own corner, carrying out your duties in your cadre, and the others are doing same, we'll be able to build a synergy that will assist government to be able to deliver complete, a wholesome service that will help to ensure that the result that government is aiming at the end of the day, like I said earlier, the dividend of democracy, giving good governance to the people, is achieved. A lot of things have been lost in the past because we put what we refer to as round peg in square holes. So the essence of professionalization in the public service is to ensure that now you are putting round pegs in round holes. That is just the aim, the goal of ensuring that people are professionally certified and qualified to carry out whatever function or duty they are to carry out in their specific cadres.
Right, thank you. It's good to see specialization being accepted in the public sector. So it's not business as usual. People need to be professionals in certain areas. And I love that that's happening in the civil service. Let's go on a quick break. We'll be right back. This is The Office. It's Lagos Talks 91.3. Remember to join the conversation. You can tweet at Lagos Talks 913. That is at Lagos Talks 913. Use the hashtag Talk Business or call the studio lines 0809 234 5913. Stay with us. Conversation.
Industries are experiencing rapid and exponential bouts of change. Technologies have become more disruptive. The external market is more agile. HR is charged with shaping a progressive organization and nation. Join over 3,000 professionals to gain insights into cutting-edge solutions to help navigate the changing times and build sustainable HR practices that aid business and national development at the 55th International Conference and Exhibition and Emerald Jubilee Celebration of the Chartered Institute of Personal Management of Nigeria. Theme: Sustainable HR, Business and National Development. Date: November 13th to the 16th, 2023. Venue: International Conference Center, Abuja. Featuring engaging learning sessions, experience sharing by thought leaders, showcase of latest HR trends and tools, networking opportunities, and gala and awards nights. To register, visit www.cipmnigeria.org/conference. For inquiries, call 0700-123-7555 or email conference@cipmnigeria.org. CIPM, we deliver value through people. Are you passionate about human resources? Do you want to make a career switch to HR? Now is the time to take that step towards becoming a recognized and respected HR professional. Join the CIPM through the examination route. Book your seat at the Next Diet, which holds September 15th and 16th, 2023, and can be written from anywhere in the world using a computer. Registration ends September 3rd, 2023. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to enhance your HR career. Visit www.cipmnigeria.org to register. For inquiries, call 0700-123-7555 or email exams@cipmnigeria.org. CIPM, we deliver value through people.
Hi, darling. How have you been?
I've been so busy, Granny. Well, Friday, I went on a field trip to see gorillas in Rwanda. Then, I played with few dragons with my friends. On Saturday, I watched football game in London live with my brother. And then, I went to bed watching the world from space. And you, Grandma?
That's a lot. How?
All I needed was my phone, laptop, TV, and Airtel's 5G.
Eh?
Lag-free gaming, hyper-realistic VR, 8K streaming, and so much more. With Airtel 5G's lightning-fast speeds and seamless connectivity, you won't believe what's next. Live the future in the Airtel 5G zone. Airtel, a reason to imagine. Go for gold and bet risk-free on the new season with Betway. Use the golden booking code found on the Betway site to bet on selected match weeks from 11th August to 3rd September and get 100% back as a free bet on any losses. You always get way more with Betway. Terms and conditions apply. No under 18. Bet responsibly. It's said the voice of the people is the voice of God, and a nation without the people's perspective is a troubled nation.
See that transportation fee is very high now.
All these things that you are doing, they know that even the politicians, they have the money. I don't know doing transfer.
We at Lagos Talks, you the people, form the core of what we do.
People are paying from the nose. Even the rich men, they are complaining. We must resist it. We must fight it.
So join Ife and Paula Chai every Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on People's Perspective and Be Counted. They will be breaking down complex political issues to bits alongside you and seasoned political analysts. Don't forget, every Friday by 11 a.m. Join the conversation.
Join the conversation on the most relevant issues affecting the workplace, as well as the human resource patterns being positioned to solve them on The Office. Get notifications on available job listings and advice on how to apply from featured experts in the industry every Thursday from 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Only on Lagos Talks 91.3.
Welcome back to The Office. It's 91.3 Lagos Talks on The Office today. My guest is Mr. Kayode Ogundele, FCIPM, the head of service for Ondo State. Now, before the break, or rather today, we are discussing maximizing the benefits of professional certifications in the public service. And yes, Mr. Kayode, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much.
All right. Now, recently, the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation released a circular on the professionalization of human resource management in the civic space, or the civil space, rather. As an HR professional and a fellow CIPM, what are your thoughts on the content of the circular, and what does it really mean for civil servants?
I see it as a very heartwarming development. And it's only showing clearly, like I said earlier, that the public service is coming to terms with the need for us to put round pegs in round holes. It has become very expedient to ensure that people will be practicing HR in this public service must of necessity be certified professionally. And when you look at the service or the circular that was just released, it's just a way of emphasizing to public servants the need to begin to see the pursuit of professional certification as expedient for their career growth and also very, very important for their effectiveness in service delivery. So what the Federal Civil Service has actually done through that circular is to awaken the consciousness of particularly those who want to work as administrative officers in the HR function within the public service. Okay. They are just awakening them to the fact that the time has come for those who want to practice to know that they will need to be upskilled. They would need to be professionally certified to practice. And I think it's a positive step forward. I'm even happy to say that the circular is just something that in my state, Ondo State, had actually been done. We've started things like this as far back as about 8-9 years back. Around that time, the Public Service of Ondo State issued a circular too, just very close to what has been done now, to ensure that public servants, particularly, like I said earlier, those who want to move to top management cadre, must of necessity, it's very, very compulsory. You cannot move from grade level 12 above without being professionally certified in that particular cadre where you belong. If you're an engineer, you must have current certification before you can move above level 12. If you are an accountant, you must have either an ANAN or an ICANN before you can move. And I think the issue of HR practice has been an issue of all comers. But thank God in Ondo State too, we emphasize the fact that belonging to professional institutes like the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management is very imperative. It was specifically stated in the circular that those who want to actually practice human resource management must belong to the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management, because it's the only institute in Nigeria that is approved by law. It is the only institute that is expected to act as a regulatory body for the practice of human resource management in Nigeria. And in view of that, whenever you talk about HR practice, it is very important you think of CIPM. So we have some other institutions, professional institutes that also train people in management. We have the NIM, that is Nigerian Institute of Management. In the public service recently now, we have another institute that is also becoming very prominent. That's the Chartered Institute of Public Administration of Nigeria. But I want to say that of all these institutes, the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management is the only one when it comes to practice of human resource management that has been chartered by law in Nigeria to regulate the practice of human resource. And so what the circular of the federal government, as well as the ones that I said was actually put in place by my state, has done, principally, is just to open the eyes of the public servants to the need to ensure that they fall in line, ensure that they actually do the needful if they really want to be part and parcel of the HR practice. I think that is what the circular we're talking about has actually, I would say, brought into the fore.
Okay. All right, thank you. We will leave it here today, just because we're out of time. But do you have any final thought to share before we go?
Yeah, I want to say that, yes, like you have said, the public service, the public sector has actually seen the need to close the gap with the private sector, where because of the, the challenges of globalization, we have come to realize that if we will want to actually effectively and efficiently deliver on our mandate, there is a need for us to ensure that we professionalize our various cadres. And what we're doing is to encourage our officers at every level to ensure that they join themselves with any of these professional institutes that can add value to their, their skills, that can add value to their performances on their job. And the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management is one of such when it comes to HR management. So I want to encourage public servants who wants to actually operate within the public service, the HR space in the public service, to strive as much as possible to register as members of the institute. And there are several routes to that. You can register through the practitioner's route, you can come in through the executive route, and you can come in if you are not even certificated enough to be able to join through this route. You can come in as a student member. Good enough, I came in as a student member. I went through the whole gamut of the stages, and I became a graduate. From there, I moved on to become an associate. Okay. I moved on to become a full member, and then I'm now a fellow of the institute. Wow. I became a fellow in 2019. Wow. So it's been a wonderful experience, and I believe it's something I would want to encourage any of our all our young people who want to work in the HR space to ensure they quickly take advantage of that. I did that. Somebody also told me about this, and I think I started that when I was serving. And I want to encourage our core members, young people, undergraduates, they can begin. Of course. Because some universities are now collaborating with the CIPM to ensure that their curricula is built into the programs of CIPM, so that as soon as these students are graduating, they would have been certified as professional HR practitioners. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. We learned so much from you, Mr. Kayode. We do appreciate you for joining us today on The Office. You are the head of service for Ondo State. I cannot begin to imagine how interesting your job will be, or how tasking it to be the head of service for a whole state. It takes a lot of practice and clearly expertise as a member of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management. Like you said, you started when you were very young, and it's very evident what it has done for you. You're managing the service of a state in Nigeria. I don't know if it gets better than that, except of course when it gets to the federal level. But we're just really happy that it's just interesting. It's inspiring to see your journey, or to hear you talk about your journey from when you started off, and seeing where you are today. It is evidence that CIPM has been very, very helpful in your career, and sharing that story, and also inspiring many young Nigerians who want to come into HR with your final words has just been mind-blowing. So thank you so much for coming through today, speaking with us, and sharing all that you have with us today. Do you have a beautiful evening?
For the privilege.
Yes.
Thank you very much for having me.
And send our regards from Lagos to Ondo State. Tell them Lagos Talks is saying hi. Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right.
I will do.
All right. Have a beautiful evening.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Coming up next is on Critical Thinking. Stay with us.